Heinen here, and this is my 2022 in the bag. So this is in my bag. This is the quarantine edition of my in the bag. My wife and I recently got coronavirus. First couple days were rough, but we're doing much better, and so still can't go anywhere, still can't do anything. I thought, what better time than to show you guys what I'm throwing for the upcoming season. I'm excited to announce that once again, 2022, I'll be partnering with Team Dishcraft. I'm excited to be throwing their plastic again. They make such quality frisbees, and they've taken such good care of me. And I'm super excited to see what we have in store for this upcoming year. Without further ado, let's take a look at what I'm throwing. All right, first up, the Roach. These are my putting putters. I carry 3 of them, all matching Wonder Bread stamp. Roaches are beadless, super glidey putters. I love putting with them. I'm a beadless, glidey putter person. This fits that spot. I have one of the OG Lunas. This thing is flippy, glidey, and goes super far. This is a great get out of trouble or kind of trick shot putter. I love throwing this thing. A Big Z Roach. This is a misprint, so there's 2 roaches on there. This thing goes super far. It's a little more stable. Similar to maybe like the Big Z Luna that Paul was throwing. It's super fun to throw. You can shape in a lot of lines. I really love this thing. The Z Flex Ringer GT. This putter actually is very glideless and fairly overstable. I don't really love backhanding my zones. And so this is what I kind of use in the place. I really love this for kind of windy days or kind of just short chip hyzer up shots. And then lastly, a 150 Rattler. This kind of came in the bag because one of my best friends, Peter Beers, throws the Sonic a whole bunch, and I wanted to try to get better at him at his own shot. Alas, I have not done that, but I've had a lot of fun kind of messing with it. It's come in and out. The old Pro D plastic, just old school lid frisbee. This thing is fun to play with. All right, let's take a look at my mids. I have 2 zones in the bag. I have a Jawbreaker. This one's pretty flippy. I mostly forehand my zones. I hardly ever backhand them. So this one's kind of my flippy zone, and then this one's pretty much straight and then finished zone. Old ESP, this is actually one of the first zones I ever owned. Buzzes, I got 3 buzzes. I got an old Z-line, little hyzer. This thing will flip over. This guy, ESP, signature eye high, one of the original runs. This one will go straight for a long ways and then just slightly finish at the end. And then, once again, the new eye high runs, or eye high. This thing is really overstable. These runs came out really overstable. I can throw it flat and it'll finish really well. And then last but not least, I carry a Big Z drone. I've had a blue drone bag for a long time. It was kind of starting to get a little flippy. I've added this guy into it. I've really been enjoying it. So with most of these, I've been going understable to overstable, but I'm going to kind of start out by telling you about my Predators. Predators are the main fairway disc I throw. I've carried anywhere from, right now, 3. I've carried up to 5. I have my most overstable Predator, just a meat hook. This guy is a pretty straight Predator. It's a 2005, Predator. It was given to me by Matt Oval. This guy is awesome. It goes straight for a long ways and then fades out. And then this is one that you guys might remember. I've been bagging this one for years, since I've been with Team Dishcraft. This guy was starting to get a little flippy, but I can probably throw it 450 feet. The thing is super controlled. It'll roll over a little bit, fade out. Definitely my most thrown disc since I've been with the team. I love this frisbee. With that said, I've almost always carrying Predators, but I've had to kind of sub in a few other things. I used to have a really flippy Predator. The recent thing just got too flippy, so I've substituted that with the Z Undertaker. Once again, I guess my signature run, but I love this thing. I can throw it flat, it'll fade over a little bit. It doesn't really come out, so I love the Undertaker. An old Dishcraft ZXL. This is my roller disc. This thing is so much fun to throw. Throw a steep hyzer, it'll come out, flip over. I don't throw a ton of rollers, but when I need to, this is the disc. And then sometimes I have some trust issues with the predators and forehands and headwinds. Specifically those instances, I'll break out a machete for that. This thing's probably the most overstable disc I've ever thrown. I think they're more overstable than Nuke OS's. And like I said, if I got a forehand headwind shot, this is probably what I'm throwing. And now for the disc that everyone enjoys, the distance drivers. What am I throwing here? Pretty basic with it. Got my forces. Got flippy force. Been throwing this force for a long time. It's super flippy, goes super far. One of the farthest flying discs in my bag. I love it. I have a slightly more stable force. This one's also a matte oval original. I really love throwing this thing. I forehand this one most. It's probably my most used forehand disc. I've got a slightly beat up force ESP this time. This one flips over just a little bit, but then finishes pretty hard. It's not super overstable. I would kind of consider it my straightest force. And then last but not least, my overstable force. This guy's a meat hook. It can handle any headwind. Double stamp. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy this one a bunch. If you play in Kansas, you have to have a Nuke OS. I think that's one of the most underrated discs in Discraft's lineup. I use this kind of two main things. I love backhanding into the wind, and I think it's most underappreciated for its forehand roller. It's a shot that I wouldn't have considered myself having probably a couple years ago, but now consider myself an expert in getting out of trouble and just kind of throwing out some creative lines. If you're looking for a forehand cut roller disc, I love Nuke OS's. And then last but not least, I have a Big Z Nuke. This one came from Eric Eastwood. This thing has gotten beat up. It's been left out in pastures. It's been at Cooper's farm. It's been left in water at Emporia. It keeps finding its way back to me, and I'm still throwing it. It's probably my farthest flying Nuke, also most understable. And then I kind of mix out this one right now. I have an ESP. Sometimes it'll be Z, just another kind of more overstable Nuke that if I need just kind of a little more trust, a little bit of a straighter flight, this is what I'm throwing. For 2022, I'm planning on playing World Championships, hopefully a couple Pro Tours. I'm still trying to iron out which ones, kind of with my work schedule. And then, of course, a lot of local B tiers and A tiers. So I'm really excited to see what happens this season. Everybody stay healthy. I can't wait to see you guys out in the course sometime soon.